There's more to life than what we think we know. I'm Micky, and I created this space so we can learn new perspectives by sharing our journeys. I believe communication and transparency is the key to growth. So if you're ready for raw conversations about real experiences and life lessons that we can all learn from, this is the podcast for you. Welcome to More by Micky. Hi, I'm Micky, and this is More by Micky. I'm here with Rebecca Behar, my really good friend, my bestie. We are just here on my next episode to discuss real life topics. Rebecca, want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm Rebecca Behar, and I am a momtrepreneur. I'm a mama and a broker, and so happy for you, Mick. So happy you're doing this. I think it's really awesome for other women to hear our stories, and may you always inspire others.
Thank you. Thank you so much for agreeing to be in my hot seat over here. Thank you for the sprinkles. That's what I'm like trying to pick out of my teeth. So that was great. Everyone should know I have a sprinkle addiction.
Yes.
Like just plain, like with a spoon.
I had them ready for you.
Thank you. Feel so loved. So we met only like 2 years ago. I'm an interior designer by trade, and you were one of my vendors. And when we finally got like a lunch date together, we scheduled like a lunch date.
I had to stalk you.
Mm-hmm. I did kind of blow you off a little bit. You finally got through to me. And then we made a time to meet up, and you slept over that first night.
I sure did.
And the rest is history. And it was only like 2 years ago. So obviously.
Yeah, we couldn't stop hanging out. It didn't even feel right to leave. We spent the whole day together.
It was so nice. It was such a genuinely like nice friendship connection.
But very your speech at that lunch that I met
the JWE
was what caught me, and I said, I'm going to be friends with that girl. I don't care how much I have to message you, email you to have a lunch with me. I finally got you.
You did. You finally pinned me down, and now I'm pinning you down. How does it feel?
Feels great.
Good. I am going to go ahead. I'm going to read a quote, and you share with us the first thought that comes to your mind after and how it resonates with you. Okay. The realest ride or dies are your children who watch your world shatter and help you pick up the pieces and didn't even know it. Some deep stuff right there.
It really is. Okay. So what comes up for me? My children, I have 2 boys. They're 8 and 10. And I think what happens for me as a mom is there are days where I don't necessarily have it all together, and my kids become my rock in a way, because we feed off one another and our energies, and it's just important to recognize that we're all human, and there's going to be good days and bad days. But at the end of the day, we come home to each other, and the love that you have as a mom for your kids and the love that they have for you just makes you feel so whole. So yes, they are my ride or die. And
there are people.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I'm just so grateful, honestly.
Yeah. And it's funny because I find that when our kids are little, we're in such caretaker mode that we're almost like we don't even see them as like our people. We're just like constantly caring for them. Mm-hmm. Sorry. And somewhere along the way, we raise, and it doesn't matter how old they are, they can be 2 and 4, we raise these incredible humans by giving them love and patience and seeing them for who they are individually, which we'll get to, because that really comes, or at least for me, it came way after, maybe it should have come. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, they are our people at the end of the day. So it's the energy, time, patience, love that we put into them in order to reap the benefits. And benefits, by benefits, I mean like getting to see them interact with other people, or seeing them show up for you where you're like, whoa, like that's kind of cool. I didn't know they were capable. I know for me as a mom, when I was first a mom when I was 20,
so young.
I was very young. I was a child,
wow.
basically. And I always ever wanted to be a mom, but like to me as a teenager or growing up, being a mom meant a cute little doll that you dress up and put cute little stuff on and push them in your stroller, and it's so cute. No one ever warns you. There's no instruction guide, which I wouldn't have read if you gave it to me, because I just like to just figure everything out on my own and never follow rules. But
that's right.
Just my personality. And then that happens because you get kids like that, but that's okay. And no one warns you what the hard work is and what it takes to actually be a loving, caring parent. And I found that I made a lot of mistakes along the way. I wasn't patient the way that they needed. I didn't show up for them the way they did, like actually needed me to be there. And I had to learn along the way. And it was rough. It was really, really rough. You know, I have 3 kids, so it's 3 different needs. It's hard. It's not easy. It's rewarding at the end of the day, but it's very hard. And I find that when I can look within at myself and be like, Micky, you have things to work on. You're not perfect. And I can be realistic about what I expect from each individual child, our relationship is a lot better. Do you find that?
Yeah, I think it's important to recognize when our kids are calling out for help in their way. So they may not be able to express themselves like we can at such young ages, but it's about reading in between the lines and hearing what it is that they're really asking us. You've taught me a lot as a mom. I'm so grateful. You've given me a lot of amazing tips along the way. And I think it's important as women that we have friendships where our friends can call us out and be raw with us and help us figure this out, because being a mom really is just a mysterious journey.
It so is.
But yeah, I think it's important. I think it's important that we look at our kids when they're having a meltdown or they're having a rough day or they're, you know, calling us mean names, not to take it personally. And you pointed out to me that I think there were many times I was doing that. And it's almost like a muscle you need to flex, because naturally as human beings, we take things personally. And especially as moms, we give and give and give. We want our children to be appreciative and we want them to like cooperate and just,
do everything we say all the time.
And then I learned, no, my child needs me to be their safe space right now. My child is crying out for help. It is my responsibility to show up for him in that way. I cannot take it personally, whatever insult, however he's behaving right now. I need to step out. I need to look and see what is it that he needs and just be there for him.
Yeah.
And the more that we do that with our kids, the more they feel seen, the more that they feel loved by us, the more that they feel understood. And it's not easy in the heat of the moment when your child is going crazy.
Right.
Practicing that.
It's also like they're going crazy and it could have nothing to do with you and they're just taking it out on you, and vice versa. When we have hard days, we're like, come on already, finish dinner, finish homework. And it's like, this has nothing to do with them, our frustration. It was because we got a hard call earlier that day or something happened at work that day. And to learn how to differentiate between how we are taking our frustrations out on our kids is also part of like taking that step back and saying, wait a minute, something happened to my kid, must have been at school. Maybe he didn't get the sticker he wanted, or he wasn't picked on the team in the sports game, or something happened and he's frustrated and he's taking this out on me because I'm his safe person. That's why he feels so comfortable to take it out in the first place.
So true.
And like, instead of taking it personally and saying to yourself, I'm so grateful right now that he feels safe enough to act this way, because otherwise he wouldn't have any way of expressing himself. That's also like another way to look at it, even though it's not okay, the temper tantrum. And it's not okay what he's doing. And after time, he'll calm down and realize, like, hey, Mom, I had a really crappy day that day. Instead of being like, no, and chucking his thing, like, he'll learn how to communicate slowly. But we do have to realize that, like, don't take it personally. It really doesn't have much to do with us. We're just, unfortunately, the punching bag. And then when we can cater to their actual need, which is maybe your kid just needed a hug, or maybe he was just really hangry, or maybe all he needed was 10 extra minutes by the basketball court.
It's true.
And we're able to give that. It means the world to them. It really does.
It does. It goes a long way. And I think it's important to practice that and constantly remind yourself of that our kids are humans. They have good days, they have bad days. We have good days, we have bad days. And it's just about like showing up for one another.
And I was also saying before how, like, it's okay to be like, no, Mommy's having a hard day today. Not taking our issues out on our child or not expecting them to provide emotional support. It's more being vulnerable to be like, Mommy just feels really impatient today. It was a rough day, but like, I'm going to do my best. Kids also need to see that we're human also. You know, we're not perfect. We're a constant work in progress. I feel like they can, at least for my kids, they respect me more when I'm more honest and more truthful when it comes to like me. And then it allows them to show up for me in a way of giving space. Maybe my thing is space, that when I'm having a really hard time, if I just need a few minutes not to hear Mom, they'll be like, I got this, it's okay, like, go have your tea on the couch. You know, like that kind of a thing. It's like we're teaching them by being open and honest how to show up for us, which ultimately is our goal as parents. At least my goal is to raise self-sufficient, nice, kind, loving adults who can go out in the world and share that with other people. And those gifts, and hopefully trickle down to their children and their grandchildren and great-grandchildren, of how to show up for each other, how to love, how to really accept all of us for our differences, but also the things that we have alike. Like, I find that the kid that's most like me would trigger me until I was like, wait a minute, let me embrace the things that are most like me. Like, I don't like to follow directions. Of course, we all have one of those, or sometimes we have more than one. And I kind of got to like that spiciness now. And I'm like, okay, fine. Sometimes it's not the most fun, but I'm like, that child's going to make it in the world. Like, mega. They're going to get there because they have that grit and what it takes. So there's a lot of challenges as being a parent, or moms, like mom to mom. And I find that the way to teach our kids is to show through example. And when we can love them unconditionally and show up for them in their each individual needs, like, that goes much farther than being like rigid on, did you brush your teeth, did you do your homework, bedtime, this time, that time. Like, they're going to get that in the world regardless. And yes, I do believe in structure. I am very structured, like OCD structured, but I also worked on myself and constantly working on myself to allow the wiggle room and be like, chill out, Micky, it's okay. For 10, 20, 30 minutes off schedule, nothing is gonna happen. Like, it's okay. So I find that that's a big thing also. Do you find that it's almost hard to juggle the difference between being a friend and being the parent figure with your kids?
Yeah, I think that it's important for our children to see the silly side of us. And I really try to do that more with my kids. Life is so intense and we're working hard. We're constantly on our phones. We're constantly overstimulated. Our kids are connected to their technology. And I think it's important that they see me as their mom, but they also see me in my silly side, and they see me let my guard down, and we have dance parties in my house all the time. That's our way of just that intimate, like, let loose, let's blast the music, let's dance. And
Right.
it's just great. And I think it's also cute that my kids will be like, Mom, why are you so silly? Like you're an adult. Like,
Right. It's
be
like they put us
serious.
in this like category, like an adult can only be serious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what about our inner child that needs
Yeah.
to shine? Like I do the music very loud in my car with my kids,
Same.
like vibrating loud music. So if ever
Yes,
you hear a
I
car
know.
vibrating, it's mine. Sorry about that.
Of course, your bass
Sorry,
is
not
like
sorry.
very high, but
Very high.
in my car, I dance
Yeah.
in my car in the driver's seat.
I have witnessed
and
that sometimes.
my son will be like, "Stop, please! You're so embarrassing."
But it's also important for us to like show that side of us, that we can be loving and kid like friendly inside also, because it shows them a balance that when you're a kid, you're allowed to be a kid, and when you're an adult, you're also sometimes allowed to be a kid. You don't have to go into this like adult only mode. It helps them relate to you more when like we allow our inner child to shine through and come out more and more. Not all the time. There is a time to be like, no, guys, it's time for dinner. No, like,
Right.
But there's no reason why the mood and the overall energy can't just be softened, I guess. And I find that as an adult, when your inner child does come out more, everything about us is softened. I don't know if you find that.
Yeah, I think as moms, when we are more laid back about the strict rules and schedule, and when they're playing outside and they want a longer time, or maybe they want to watch the rest of their movie before bed, it's important to bend the rules a little bit. And I find, now with my work and working such long hours, I can't necessarily put them to bed as early as I want. And everybody's happier when you're less,
rigid
by the book. Exactly. So it's great.
Yeah.
And it benefits everybody. And then my kids will be like, "Oh, Mommy, love you so much. Thank you for, letting us stay out longer." And then, there's more kisses and hugs at bedtime, and everybody's just more chill.
Right.
I do still believe that our children need a certain amount of sleep, hours at night, and rest, and need to eat well. But I've worked on that with myself to be less by the book, because
but also keep boundaries.
Yeah, keep boundaries, have a schedule. Kids need routine.
Oh, 100%.
But balancing it. That's what we do. We balance.
We balance everything all the time. It's exhausting sometimes, but it is rewarding, and it is really nice. I guess I just want to know that having a peer group, like as moms, and finding the people that can like be truthful with you, not just like fluff all the feathers all the time and be like, oh no, you're amazing all the time. Like having a peer group that like not puts you in your place, but is super, super transparent when they think that maybe you have something to work on. Did you find that helpful as an adult, like by being friends with other moms that are like more transparent, or do you find it helpful by almost like every mom keeping in their lane when it comes to that kind of thing? Because I have both types. Most of my peer group right now we're basically very similar. Like we'll call each other out, or if I'm complaining about something, you'll be like, you know what, Micky, I don't know that you're being XYZ. Like I find that a lot of my relationships now are very, very truthful and transparent, which is what I need in my life. I appreciate that in a loving way, not in a constantly being better than me way. Like I don't find that. But I know that there are some people that don't appreciate that kind of like back and forth of advice.
For me, I'm all about having moms in my life and women in my life that are supportive. And when I say that, I want them to call me out. So I'm always looking to grow. I believe that we can always be better. And I want to be the most patient, loving, supportive mother on all days. My kids are my priority, and I want to raise these boys to be the best husbands one day, and men. So having friends like you in my life is top priority also. Just, I want you to be real with me, and that's how I grow.
Right.
I think there's days where you want the soft love because maybe you're emotional.
Sometimes I'm a little rough with the love giving over there.
I don't need it so tough, but it's good. It's really, really good, because
that's when you can be like, Micky, take a seat.
No, have some sprinkles.
Some sprinkles. That's what these are here for, guys, so I don't make her that nervous. She knew how to butter me up.
But yes, it's very important to me. Very.
Yeah, I find it crucial for my personal experience and my growth that I want to achieve in life, which I've come a long way, and I see that about myself, and I see that about you. You've come a really, really long way, not only as a friend and through work and all of the good stuff, but also as a mom. Like, I see the difference. I've been around you and your kids, and you're just happier and like calmer, and you have this aura about you, and it's really, really enjoyable to be around.
Thank you, babe.
Well, anytime you need a compliment, you know who to call, and someone to put you in your place. I'll do that too.
It's a work in progress.
It really is. It really, really is. So I want to thank you for being on. Before we totally end this episode, I want to know if there's any key takeaway that you want the audience to get from you and your advice, or things that you've learned that you want to share that can really impact everyone.
Yeah, so I would say I think it's really important to teach our children that we're doing our best. They're doing their best, but it's about finding a way to be vulnerable with our kids, and at the same time have the respect that we deserve as parents. And I'm trying to be more patient every day, but I also think it's important to have self-awareness and fill your tank. So my takeaway for everybody would be, make sure you're filling your tank, because if you're on empty, you don't have enough to give to your kids. And that means going for walks, exercising, eating right, listening to things that inspire you, reading books that make you feel better or want to do better, and having friendships like this where you can be real. There's no judgment.
None.
And I just wish that for everybody. And we're all here doing our best in life.
And no one's perfect.
Nope.
I mean, no, really, no one's perfect. Everyone's always a work in progress.
Yes.
Wow.
And I'm just grateful. Thank you for all like the love and support you're giving me as a mom. And I'm excited to watch our children grow into amazing beings, because we're doing this together.
We really are.
And I'm grateful. I love you.
I love you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Or we're really in your home, so thanks for having me.
Yes.
And thank you for the sprinkles.